Hi there. If you are shooting with a vintage lens that is a lens without the CPU information, some of them do have the information, some of them don't. I have two examples here of lenses that do not have the CPU information, so I will show you how I have set it up on my D750 Nikon camera body so that it doesn't recognize the lens because it can't talk to it, but it works pretty well with it. So what you need to do is to go into the menu system here, and then you scroll down to this little setup menu, and then you go in here and you need to go 3 screens down. There you have the non-CPU lens data. And if you go into this one, you can actually see that you have an option for setting up these lenses. So that I have set up number 1, that is my Nifty 50 here. I'm showing you here, maybe it's difficult to see. And the other one is the one that's mounted here. That's my beloved, my new love, so to speak, my 135 2.8 Nikon. So how do you do this? Well, the only thing you need to do is you simply scroll to, let's say I was to configure lens number 3. Then you need to read simply the focal length. This works only for prime lenses, unfortunately. If you know how it works for zoom lenses, by all means drop a comment. But as far as I know, the focal length, you can only set a prime lens here. So let's say that it's 80 millimeter and that the maximum aperture is, in this case, 1.8. Boom, and then press OK, then you're good to go. Then what you need to do is that as every time that you put on a new lens, let's say I take off the 135 and I put on the Nifty 50 here, then I just need to adjust the menu point here so that it picks lens number 1 instead of lens number 3, and then you're good to go. So let's see if I can figure out how to do that. There we are, 50 millimeter, 1.8. You don't need to change that, that's set up. You just choose that one and then you're good to go. Of course, this is a little bit, maybe it's a little bit deep in the menu system. So what I've done is I've set it up so that this button here on the front of my camera, this one down here, maybe difficult to see, but if I press that one, I get into my menu. And in my menu, you will see that the top item, I've set that up so that's the CPU lens. So if I just want to switch, say, to another lens, I just scroll sideways here, pick the ones that I want, and then I'm basically good to go again. So that's it. Yeah, what are the benefits from doing this? I think first and foremost for me is that when you change the aperture or turn the lens, let me just show you here that let's say I have the Nifty 50 on. So that ranges from 1.8 in aperture up to, I can't recall how much it is, but let me just show you here. When I turn the ring, you still have to use the ring. You can't turn it from the camera. Normally you will use the front dial, but you can't do that. So when I turn the ring, you will see here in the top right corner here, now it says 1.8. As I turn it, I don't know if you can see I'm turning it here, but I am all the way up to 22 in this case. Then it actually gives me this information. It's the same information I get in the viewfinder, and that means you don't have to chip in order to see what the aperture is. You simply have the information readily available in the viewfinder. I think that's a big benefit. The other thing is that according to the manual, the Nikon 750 manual, this should also help with metering. I think it has some advanced color metering according to the manual. I'm not an expert here, but it should help the metering, the camera in doing its metering. And then last, but certainly not least, if you look at the picture you have taken here, you will see that you get the metadata information. It gives you the information with, this is a picture I took with the 135. So with these little stars next to it, it actually tells you this was shot at f4 and 135. Had you not set up this CPU lens information, then these would have been, I believe, blank or would have been not filled in correct. So that's, I think, is another big benefit, and it's actually carried over to if you import to, for instance, Lightroom. Then I can show you, notice this is picture, where is it, 778. I'll just show you a picture so you can see when it's transferred to Lightroom, this information follows the picture, and that means you have more metadata with the picture as it goes back to Lightroom. Thank you for watching. As always, happy shooting. Take care. Bye-bye.